Mr Ondarchie.
Thank you, and thank you, Ms Crozier. I was actually going to your point, which is quite valid. When Ms Crozier sought from you the breakdown, are you giving the people of Victoria an assurance that other than WorkSafe officers authorised under this Act, should it pass the Parliament, and I'll say to Ms Ratnam and Ms Patten there's a chance this is going to happen, that they'll be the only person, apart from police carrying out their normal duties, can enter someone's private home? Is that what you're saying? Only those?
Yeah. Minister?
The other authorised officers you're going to appoint, like the nurses from New South Wales or the health professionals you're talking about, the parking inspector from Tasmania or the civil servant from Canberra, will they be able to attend people's homes, or are you restricting it only to the WorkSafe officers and Victoria Police in the course of the natural normal work?
Minister.
Mr Ondarchie, what I said before stands. So to be able to enter a premises that's a workplace under these powers, authorised officers have to be the PSO police one or the WorkSafe inspector one? Yes.
Mr Ondarchie.
Thank you, Deputy President. So just to clarify, the health service provider or the employee in the public sector of a state other than Victoria or a territory cannot enter a workplace, even if it's a home. Is that what you're saying?
Minister.
Let me just get the... To respond to a public health concern, an authorised officer can enter a premises. But to enter a premises for the purposes of checking a by virtue of being a workplace, that's confined to those whose job it is.
Mr Ondarchie.
Thank you, Deputy President. So to respond to pick up your words, to respond to a public health concern, which could be as broad-ranging as anything at the moment because it's ill-defined, then Victorians should know from your statement that they could get a knock on the door and a visit from any one of these 5 categories B through F that's listed in clause 16. Is that correct? And enter your premises, because it could be a public health concern, whatever that means under this Act. We've taken away detention, if I could just add, Deputy President, we've taken away the so-called detention, but people can still enter your homes, according to the Minister.
Without a warrant.
Minister.
I'm responding to your question about workplaces, and the job of WorkSafe is to ensure workplaces are safe, and that's what they would be seeking to do. In relation to authorised officers, their powers are detailed very clearly in the bill. That's what we sought to do, to make sure that it was very clear and confined, as opposed to the more general power, which is, I can table it for you if you're unclear. I can go through every single power of every single authorised officer and the specific categories if you would like. But it's in the bill. Do you want me to go through it? Oh, I'm not getting any feedback from you.
Mr. Ondarchie.
Deputy President, is your message to Victorians, to be clear, and I don't need you to, I said thank you to the Deputy President. Minister, is your message to Victorians, and I don't need you to table a bill, I don't need you to, that component, I don't need you to read every little bit of it out. You know, it's just going to take up the chamber's time, which I'm happy to do, it's up to you. But is your message to Victorians that authorised officers, under the banner of a health concern, could turn up and enter your home? Is that your message to Victorians?
Minister?
The bill, or the currently authorised officers already have the power to do that. So, in terms of the existing authorised officers under Section 190 of the Public Health Risk Powers, if authorised by the CHO, can close a premises, direct people to enter and not enter, or to remain or leave particular premises, require the provision of information, require a person to provide their name, inspect any premises, require cleaning or disinfectant, require destruction or disposal of anything of the destruction or disposal which is necessary to eliminate, reduce public health, direct the owner or occupier of a premises to take necessary action to eliminate risk, direct any other person to take any other action that the authorised officer considers necessary to eliminate or reduce the risk to public health, exercise any of the general enforcement powers conferred on an authorised officer by this Act. And so this already exists, and authorised officers can already respond to threats to public health. And they do have large powers because it's about protecting the state. But those powers already exist. There's nothing in the bill that takes them any further than they already are.
Mr. Ondarchie.
Clearly the government has blurred the lines between public safety and health and human rights. I think the message is that this is a smoke and mirrors government that have scammed their way through this legislation to see that Victorians may well get a knock on the door and persons entering their home under the banner of a health risk. That's why we should oppose this bill.